Hi, I'm Mike Ciampo. Welcome to this segment of Training Minutes. Today we're going to discuss overhaul and a lath and plaster structure. Many of our older homes have lath and plaster, which is lath is real thin strips of wood attached to the stud, and the plaster is a skim coat that's placed over the lath. It hardens up, it has some byproducts in there, it makes it very hard. It's a very smooth finish, and sometimes it's very difficult to open up. As you can see, as this firefighter is going to walk in, one of our techniques is to smack the wall first, see if we have lath in the plaster, and maybe the plaster will fall off in a chunk prior to having opening up the wall. As you can see, the firefighter exposed the lath and the plaster. It's normally a thick half-inch concrete-like substance attached directly to the lath with a skim coat. Some firefighters were taught to put the fork of the halogen or their hand tool straight down in and start peeling the plaster off. However, that's a long process. We'll peel the plaster off and then you have to go back and open up the wall to get the lath. What we're going to do is show you some techniques on how to open it up in one shot. Before we go to open up many of these walls, we were all taught to pull, tear open. We're almost like a bull in a china shop. What we should do is think about it. If we're opening up this wall from our waist down with fire extending, if we start high and we work low, all of a sudden we have the baseboard molding that we left in place, and it's going to be difficult to remove. Sometimes it's best to start at the baseboard and get it off when we're working below our waist. As we just saw, the firefighter took the fork of the halogen to remove the baseboard. Normally we'd start in the corner and work our way along the wall. It's also very easy to use a longer tool with a pry bar end, so you're working more upright and you may get more leverage. Now that the baseboard's been removed, it's going to be very easy to open up the wall from the waist level down. We won't have the baseboard to get hung up on. Firefighter's going to come in, he'll punch a hole, get behind the lath, and he's going to use the reach of the tool. Remember, don't let go of the tool. On a balloon frame construction home, we could lose the tool in the wall. He'll slide the tool down, and then he's going to pull forward. The leverage of the tool is going to break the lath and plaster, and we'll be able to open up. You'll also notice once he puts the tool in and begins to pull back, more of the area of the wall will open up. As you can see, we got very lucky there. The old plaster came off in a full sheet exposing the lath, which will make it easier to open up. The firefighter just demonstrated using a smaller hand tool. He put it in all the way and he began to pry outward. Problem is, he didn't have much of a tool to hold on to and get full leverage. We're going to demonstrate now using a hook. Firefighter's going to come over, slide the hook handle straight down. He'll have more tool here and he'll have more leverage. The main thing to remember is you have to start below your waist, because when you go to insert the hook, it may hit the ceiling. As you can see, the handle of the tool was between both studs, and we broke the lath very good. The problem is, if we go right next to the stud itself with the tool, sometimes that enables more material to be pulled. What happens is when the lath and plaster is installed, a lot of the joints are every other joint. So if we get next to the stud and pull, we'll get more of an area opened up. Many times when fire's traveling behind the hidden wall space, especially in lath and plaster, the tendency of the flames are to spread horizontally and vertically. We'll have to open up numerous bays. We get our starter hole, and then we'll find one of the studs, and we'll try to put the hook of the head right next to one of the studs and begin pulling. We want to have short strokes. You don't want to be yanking real hard because you'll get tired. Short little strokes. Let the tool run through your hand a little bit. And you may have to go joist to joist to get your wall open. You may not be able to stay in one bay. You might have to move to another bay to get this wall to keep flaking down. Certain trucks get good reputations because of their truck work. You want to be that truck that everybody can count on. One of the situations here is, even though you're opening up and there is fire, you want to remove deadly traps. Here's one right here. Lath and Plaster. It's nailed in at every joist by little nails. One of the situations here, a tall firefighter walks by, and you can see you have a nail just waiting to hit somebody in the eye and cut them. You saw that he got it open very fast. We're going to try to have two firefighters perform the same maneuver. What we're going to do is we're going to work together. We're going to attempt to open the same wall and work together. We're not going to have this guy get 5 feet down and this guy still working at the top. Slide your hook over and help him. It's not a race. It's working together to get the wall open. Remember, if you run into blown-in insulation, right, we have to remove that and make sure we have no fire extending behind it. And we also want to let the engine company wash down. If fire is extending way up the bays and we have balloon construction, there is a chance that we can get a line in here, get 1 or 2 bays open, and get the nozzle to squirt straight up here, try to chase the extension and knock it down. Remember, don't lay your hand tool down when you open up a wall or a ceiling with your hook. Put it somewhere. Corner of the room, closet, on a door, because when you start opening up and you laid it on the floor, good luck finding it. Remember, when we go to open up a ceiling with lath and plaster, it's going to be very difficult. The hook's head might have a difficult time going through the ceiling. As you saw, it was very difficult to get the head of the hook through the ceiling. We can flip the hook around and use the butt end to make some inspection holes or purchase holes, and then put the head of the hook into the ceiling. It's very important that when firefighters open a lath and plaster ceiling when working together, is to stay in line with each other. Many times one firefighter gets out in front of the other one, and as we're pulling, he's getting hit with material from the other firefighter. So work in line. Again, it's not a race. It's working together to get the ceiling open. We'll demonstrate that now. Remember, prior to anything else happening, such as the engine coming in to wash down or letting somebody walk in the room, we have other safety hazards that we have to be aware of. Right now, you can see the danger of the small nail hanging here. We want to remove that. One, we can just grab it with our hand and pull it down. The other thing we can just do is tap it with the hook. All right? Just as like this one here. Keep it out in front of you, give it a knock. Make sure nobody's in front of you. We don't want somebody to walk in there and get cut, and we don't want them flying around when the engine washes them down with the nozzle. I'm Ciampo. Thanks for watching this segment of Training Minutes.